How is he only a 90 overall? You have Richard Sherman, some old man who can't run for jack.
You need to put respect on Zach Ertz's name and a bunch of other tight ends that should be higher than Rob Gronkowski.
The man hasn't played since 2018. He's not going to be the NL MVP.
And then he goes onto an Instagram live where he seems to have been under the influence, smoking a cigar.
I don't think MVP is indicative of the best player in the league.
Welcome back to Goat Chat. We are back here with the 41st episode of Goat Chat, guys. How you doing today?
Doing great.
Wow.
Filming this bright and early. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm tired.
Oh, really, Connor? We can't tell.
Well, it might be a little slow day for us here at Goat Chat, but if you're new here, subscribe. Well, let's get right into it. To go to the number 41. I thought this one was a little more easier than the ones we had in the past, but I feel like Tommy's definitely going to disagree with me, so might as well we hear Connor's first.
Okay, so there was a really good basketball player and a really good MLB player, and I know who Tommy's going to go with. But I'm going to go with the basketball player. I'm going to go with Dirk Nowitzki. He's just, I mean, he was known in the NBA for the, I don't know what that little thing there was.
You got it right.
14-time All-Star, 12-time All-NBA. He won an NBA championship in 2010 and 11 season, taking it away from LeBron in his first year in Miami. He also won Finals MVP, and he's an MVP of the league in 2006. So, I mean, Dirk Nowitzki, he's done more for the game of basketball than a lot of other people can say. So, for that reason, he's the go to number 41.
Tommy, how are you going to refute that pick?
Well, of course I'm going with Tom Seaver here. I'm very disappointed, Connor. I'm not going to lie. How could you not go with Tom Terrific, one of the best Mets pitchers of all time? He had 311 wins. He won 3 Cy Youngs, a 2.96 career ERA, which is very respectable. He won 3 ERA titles over the course of his career. Won a World Series with the Mets, which is impressive because we all know that they don't win very much. I'm sorry about that, Mike.
You're not wrong.
No, they're okay. But he won the Rookie of the Year, a 12-time All-Star. Tom was just the best. Sadly, he passed away earlier this year, but Tom Seaver, he's one of the best, so I had to go with him this week.
I thought Tom Terrific was Tom Brady, but that's just me. Mike, who are you gonna go with?
Original Tom Terrific.
Although Dirk was really good, I'm gonna go with Tom Seaver too. Tom Seaver was he was honestly just a different breed. This guy was absolutely amazing. He's probably the best Mets pitcher of all time. I don't really think there's any competition as of right now. He did win one of their 2 World Series titles, and for the Mets, that's pretty impressive. We know the kind of organization that the Mets are, but on 3 ERA titles, like Tommy said, 3 Cy Youngs, I mean, that is no joke. I mean, Dirk was amazing, but he didn't achieve stuff like this. And Tom over 3,000 strikeouts, almost 4,000, 2.6 ERA in his whole career. It has to be Tom Seaver here.
I'm gonna have to agree with Connor here. I'm gonna go with Dirk Nowitzki. Everything that Connor said, just going off that. I mean, Dirk, he was from Germany, and I know that doesn't get any bonus points or brownie points, whatever you want to call that. But still, he was a great European player. Honestly, probably one of the best when it comes to my mind. I might be wrong. One of the best European players, and he was 6th for the NBA all time in points. And another thing I want to just point out, I don't know anything about Tom Seaver. I'm not saying like he didn't do this, but Dirk sticked with his whole team, sticked with one team his whole career, which I respect so much. Players that stick with one team. You got LeBron, who's literally just going everywhere, taking his talents to South Beach. Then he's going to LA. Whatever LeBron wants to do. So that.
Okay, hang on. You say he's going everywhere. He's played for 3 teams.
I mean. But he ditched Cleveland twice.
I mean, can you blame him though? To be honest,
I don't know. I
mean, you could talk about his decision to form a super team in Miami, but I mean, I don't really blame him for leaving Cleveland. Just like I don't necessarily blame Tom Seaver for leaving the Mets.
Oh, I had no idea if Tom Seaver sticked with the whole.
No, he played for the Reds, the Red Sox, and the White Sox, I think. So,
But
and one thing Dirk does have is on his resume is that enormous upset against LeBron in 2011. The Heat were massive favorites coming into that series, and Dallas just absolutely just. I mean, they didn't destroy Miami, but LeBron choked big time, and Dirk came out on top. He played great in that series, so got to give credit there.
I mean, also, there's no disrespect to Tom Seaver at all. He's easily one of the best pitchers to do it. He's one of the best to ever go out on the mound. So I mean, definitely Tom Seaver's probably number 2 there for number 41, but I had to go with Dirk here.
and I just like to throw LeBron slander through anything. But does anyone else have a 41 they want to mention? Please not be a Yankee, Tommy.
I actually don't have any Yankees. Oh, Miguel Andujar. We'll throw him out there. He didn't even make the roster. No, Miguel's great though. So he should have won the Rookie of the Year in 2018. So we'll throw that out there.
He was robbed of the
Miguel's
Rookie of
great.
the Year.
Yeah, Miguel's great. So we'll go with him for an honorable mention.
All right. Well, it's not a go of the number without a Yankee player being called out. So thank you for that, Tommy. But we'll move into a good episode we got here today for you guys.
Welcome back to Go Chat. We are now going to be talking about a certain NFL team who is in some trouble here. There was news coming out Monday afternoon that the Houston Texans have fired GM and head coach Bill O'Brien after their 0-4 start to the season. Now, guys, I mean, obviously their schedule wasn't easy the first 4 weeks. They played the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Steelers, and then the 0-3 Vikings, who we did pick them, and we all got incorrectly. So, I mean, I guess my question to you guys is, does Houston have a problem?
Yes.
Well, I mean, well, duh, when you fire your head coach and / GM, of course they have a problem. But I mean, I feel like this is an obvious answer, and it was about time Bill O'Brien, goes, right? I mean, he traded DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of chips this offseason. I like David Johnson, but what he got in return for one of the best wide receivers in the game is next to nothing. And that will go down as one of the worst trades of all time. And along with that, I mean, he just completely mortgaged their future. Yeah, he got Laramie Tunsil from Miami, but he gave like 2 first-round picks and a second-rounder. They have no draft picks, and all of their draft picks that they do have, they miss on. So they have absolutely no help for Deshaun Watson on the offensive line. Their defense stinks. Everything stinks. I mean, Houston does have a major problem right now. And this isn't like a short-term thing that they can fix. They need like a full overhaul of their roster. Like, I mean, we all picked them to make the playoffs. You guys picked them to win the AFC South. And before the season, I recognized that there could be a problem, but I didn't think it would be this bad so quickly. And it's kind of disappointing because we know how good Deshaun Watson is, and now his talent's kind of getting wasted. But 2 possible replacements I do want to bring up for Bill O'Brien in the offseason is number 1, Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. I was shocked that he did not get a head coaching spot last year. I think he's an absolutely fantastic coach learning under Andy Reid. I think he could do great things in Houston, as well as Urban Meyer. I think he's out coaching right now, and I think he could be an awesome coach for Houston. He did great things with Ohio State, kind of shaking his head right now. I don't know why. Urban's a fantastic coach.
He absolutely is, but he also said that he's never coaching again. After the whole scandal that happened with Ohio State and everything that was going on there, and then everything that he had to go through there, it put him out of the coaching game. So, no, I mean, I'm not going to throw any shade onto your pick of or Urban Meyer possibly being a head coach. I'm just saying from what I know as an Ohio State Buckeyes fan, he has said that he is not coaching anymore, and he's just sticking to a college football analyst.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I mean, we'll see. I think Urban Meyer would be a great coach. I kind of want Dallas to hire one of those two after they fired Jason Garrett. But nope, we got big old Mike McCarthy. And we could talk about that at a different time, but I think Houston needs to go after Eric Bieniemy this offseason.
Yeah, I think Eric Bieniemy is a great pick for Houston, or a great fit for Houston. he honestly is doing great as the offensive coordinator of Kansas City, of course, after winning a Super Bowl. And some of those plays are unbelievable. I know Patrick Mahomes is kind of magical under center there, but you also think about the coaches that learned under Andy Reid as Kansas City offensive coordinator. Doug Peterson was, I think Matt Nagy was too.
Yep.
So obviously those guys are they have a job and they're not doing that bad. The Bears, well, the Eagles right now, but the Eagles in the past.
Eagles are at the top of the NFC East.
I know. What is life? 2020 gets weirder every day. And the Bears are doing solid too. So I think Eric would be a great fit for them. And otherwise, Bill O'Brien should have been fired. Like you talked about, they don't even have a draft pick. Like they can't even tank for anything. It's just awful.
Tommy, what do you think here?
Yeah, I think you all made really good points. I just think it was time for them to part ways with O'Brien. But yeah, I mean, the team is in trouble right now. I think they'll be okay. You mentioned they do have a lot of talent. They have Deshaun Watson as their quarterback, so that's obviously a plus. I think they'll get some wins this year, but they're in trouble right now, and they'll have to try to get it going next week against the Jaguars. But I think they'll start moving in the right direction here. And yeah, I'm not sure who they would get as a coach in the off season, but hopefully they can get some wins here the rest of the way, and then focus on that in the off season.
So I mean, Eric Bieniemy is a great candidate and all of that, but I wouldn't mention his offensive talents in Kansas City because I mean, Andy Reid is the one drawing up the plays and calling the plays. Eric Bieniemy is just kind of like the understudy to all of that. I mean, Eric Bieniemy is no doubt a great offensive-minded coach. I would just say that Andy Reid is definitely the guy behind that whole operation there as far as the offense. But Houston definitely does have a problem. I mean, Deshaun Watson right now is in some uncharted territory. He's 0-4. He's never really been a losing quarterback.
Well, there is, I think it was
Okay.
what? No, I just wanted to bring up this point. It was like 1 or 2 seasons ago where the Texans started out like 0-3 or 0-4, and they came back and they became 500. So I'm not exactly sure what season is, but I just wanted to bring that up.
Well, I mean, I credit a lot of this potentially to their schedule the first 4 weeks. I mean, last week's matchup against the Vikings was a game they absolutely should have won. But I mean, the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Chiefs are all very good teams. I mean, Ravens and Chiefs are 2 AFC favorites. The Steelers are looking like an AFC favorite right now. I would say, I mean, their schedule does get a little bit easier. They have Jaguars, Lion. I mean,
well, are you saying that Bill O'Brien shouldn't have been fired?
no, that's not at all what I'm saying. Not at all. Bill O'Brien absolutely had to go. He was there far too long. But the 0-4 start to the season, I think, could have some implications on the schedule that they had the first 4 weeks.
Well, I thought last week against Minnesota was an absolute gimme. I mean, you guys heard me on the last episode. I thought Houston was going to blow out Minnesota. I mean, that was a game for them to take. Minnesota has a horrible defense, and they only put up 23 points. And we could talk about the controversial call at the end of the game, but I mean, it wasn't a catch at the end of the day, right? And Houston totally should have blown Minnesota out of the water, right? They have absolutely no defense. There's no excuses there. Thank God Bill O'Brien is gone. Hopefully they could get Deshaun Watson some help, who frankly has been playing great this season.
I would say my top head coaching candidate for Houston Texans right now is the San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator and Robert Saleh. Their defense just has not been producing well, and I think bringing him in as a head coach will be very beneficial to their defense, which will then take a lot of pressure off of Deshaun Watson and the offense to have to put up 40 points a game in order to win. I mean, we look at their first 4 games. Kansas City put up 34, Ravens 33, Steelers 28, and then the Vikings 31. So, I mean, the defense they're not doing well, and offense is putting up 21, 20, 23, and 16, which, I mean, in some cases are enough points to win a football game. So, I mean, the defense definitely has to succeed a little bit better, and I think Robert Saleh of the San Francisco 49ers coming in could help turn the ship.
Do you think that they could sign Earl Thomas? I know that they were like rumored to sign him. But do you think they will?
I saw a report the other day saying that a lot of Houston Texans players told management
Yeah.
not to sign him because they don't want him in the locker room.
I think if he does get signed, he's gonna blow up that locker room. Like me personally as a Cowboys fans, regardless of how much the Cowboys are struggling on defense right now, it's really hard for me to say I want to sign Earl Thomas when I know the kind of baggage that he brings to a football team, right? And I don't know. I think Earl Thomas is like if he did get signed to Houston, he would just blow up that team. Like I don't know. He doesn't give you enough on the field anymore
I would
for him
say
to be worth the headache.
one more question for you guys is, I mean, Deshaun Watson just signed a major extension, but if the ship isn't turning anytime soon, maybe we don't see them have that very good of a season this season, and maybe they don't hire a head coach that necessarily he wants. Do we see him potentially asking for a trade?
No, I couldn't see that.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's too early to say anything, but I just no. I don't think he will. I mean, who knows?
I mean, to be fair, it's only been 4 games, right? Houston has made the playoffs the last couple of years. They won the division, so I'd say let's not panic before we hit the trade Deshaun Watson button.
Do we have any other real comments on this situation?
Nope.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess what you heard from Coach at here, Houston, is that you guys got to turn the ship and you guys got to hire the right candidate in order to keep Deshaun Watson there. We're going to be right back. We're going to talk about the AL and NL Division Series predictions. Tommy's very excited about this one. The Yankees did go up 1-0 in Monday's game. Let's see if they can continue. We'll be back.
Hey, everybody, we're back. We had a great day of postseason baseball on Monday. The Yankees start off the ALDS the right way. They had a big win against the Tampa Bay Rays, 9-3. What an incredible win that was. We'll get into that in a little bit. But the Houston Astros beat the Oakland A's, a little bit of an upset there. I'm hoping that they're gonna win because I want to see a rematch. But we'll get into all of it. Connor, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think of the first day?
I mean, the first day was great. It was great to see some even more playoff baseball. It was weird to see the Yankees and Rays playing in Petco Park. No doubt about that. I mean, I didn't. Where is the Astros and Athletics playing? Are they playing in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no, they're playing in Dodger Stadium.
Right,
Actually.
they're in the Dodger Stadium. So I mean, it's definitely weird to see these teams playing in different ballparks. But I mean, under the scenario we're in, I'm just happy to see that the teams are safe and that we're getting some postseason baseball. As far as the actual gameplay, Garrett Cole pitched a good game. Got a little pushy there towards the end, but he definitely played well. I mean, and then the Yankees bats exploded there in the 9th inning. RBI single by Aaron Hicks, and then the big grand slam by Stanton that really opened it up and possibly saved Chapman's arm for game 2 or game 3, which is really big in some postseason baseball when he would have had to come in and pitch in a 4-3 game, and rather he was able to save those pitches. Definitely big for a postseason series.
I agree, Connor. Mike, what do you think about all of it?
Yankees, they just keep hitting somehow. They literally just flipped the switch coming into the playoffs, and it's kind of frustrating because there was like no telltale sign of the Yankees just coming in absolutely raking. And who the hell is John Curtis? I'll just say that right now. Who the heck is John Curtis? I mean, he pitched a horrible game. He literally like laid up like 5 different pitches, 5 different breaking balls for Stanton to crush, and he did end up crushing one of them. So I still think the Rays are going to win the series. I think they'll win game 3. We'll talk about later in the episode, but I think Houston's going to win against the A's. They just have turned it up so far in the postseason. I'd love to see a Houston, New York league championship, L championship. That'd be fun.
Absolutely, I would too. What do you think, Matt?
The Yankees look great. I'm not gonna lie. We talked about the Yankees a lot this past month, but yeah, I mean they look great. I picked them to beat the Rays, and I've been believing in the Stros since day one. Of course, you saw me, the only one who picked the Astros. 2 episodes, 3 episodes ago, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's great baseball.
So
Yeah.
really quick before we pick our division series winners, Mike and Matt, are you guys starting to eat your words about how the Yankees aren't going to make the World Series or win the World Series yet?
No, because I said
The
they could.
division round isn't even over. We don't even know.
Look,
They're the first team.
They've played 3 games.
and they put up 30 runs.
Mike,
Congrats.
Mike, they're the first team in postseason history to score 9 or more runs in the first 3 postseason games. They're on fire.
They are on fire, but it's only been 3 games.
Okay, but like I was saying, I never said they couldn't make it to the finals. I just said they wouldn't beat the Dodgers because you guys were saying they would win the finals. And also I did pick them to beat the Indians. So like I'm not really eating my words. I mean, Mike picked. That's like more of a question to Mike because he picked the Indians. It was so high.
They blew it. They absolutely blew it.
But no, I'm going through and I'm picking the Yankees past the Rays too. Might as well start that out. I'm picking the Yankees past the Rays.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. Yankees are going to win in 3 games.
3.
Yeah.
They're gonna sweep them.
Yep, they're going to sweep them. Tommy and I were talking before the show about 21-year-old David Garcia, who's going to go out on the mound Tuesday night. We're filming this early Tuesday morning, so we obviously don't know the result of Game 2, but I think he's going to throw a gem. I really do.
Oh my goodness.
What? Didn't you say I don't know about David Garcia? You said he's 21. I don't know about the kid.
He is, and I don't necessarily know about. He has a great talent and all of that, and he's going to do great things. But we also saw in his starts prior to the postseason that he was pitching a lot better than he was in his first couple games in the season. I think he's only going to keep improving, and I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and throws a very, very, very good game tonight.
Okay, well, that's a little different than what you said prior to the show, but I'm going to agree with you, Connor. I think that he is going to be outstanding tonight. He's going to have one of the best starts you've ever seen. He's going to shut down the Rays, and it's just going to be incredible. So tune in tonight. Well, you know what? The game's already happened when the episode's airing, so rewatch it. It's going to be a gem, and we're all looking forward to it. But I agree, Yankees are going to win this easily. Well, not easily. It's going to be a pretty tough series. I'm going to take the Yankees in 4 games, I think.
I'll take the Rays in 5. That's all I have to say.
All right.
I guess we'll move into
I think the Rays are going to win tonight. I think Game 3 is in the air because Morin hasn't really pitched well this season, but we'll see what happens.
We'll move into the other game that concluded on Monday night. We'll do the Astros Athletics. The Astros have a 1-game lead. I'm going to take the Astros here. I just don't think the Athletics have it. I think the Astros are just they're flowing well. So I think they're going to be the team to represent in the AL Championship Series against the Yankees.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
I'm taking the Stros too. I think I already said that.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you guys. Before the series, I would have picked the A's, but there's just something going on in Houston right now. They do not have a problem. I'll tell you that. They're playing really well right now, and I don't know what's going to stop them.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take Houston in 5. I just think that they're rolling right now. And while Oakland's a really good team, and I think they can win, I just think that Houston, they're playing well, and Correa's all fired up about it. So we'll see. Yankees.
Freaking Carlos Correa, man.
Yeah, but, they're playing well. So Yankees, Astros, ALCS rematch.
All right. We got 2 more games on the National League side this time. We're going to start with the game that is going on Tuesday at 2:00. It's the Marlins and the Braves. Marlins definitely a surprise story here in the postseason. Do we see the Cinderella story continuing? Matt?
No, I got the Braves.
Mike?
No, I got the Braves. I think the Braves are a really good team, and you guys me and Matt didn't sleep on them, but you guys thought the Reds were going to win. The Braves absolutely shut them down.
Tommy?
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I think that the Braves are just the more experienced team. Although they're a younger team, they're more experienced than the Marlins. So I'm going to take them.
You know what? I will take the Braves, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Marlins make this a series. They're a young team full of potential. And, in Marlins history, they have never lost a postseason series. So I mean, what does that mean about this year? That means they're going to be representing the National League in the World Series.
You mean they're going to be beating the Yankees in the World Series?
Obviously, I'm kidding. But I mean, the Braves are going to do this. Freddie Freeman had an absolutely incredible season. After battling the coronavirus before the season starts, he comes out and really just lights it up. Potential NL MVP in my eyes. So I definitely see the Braves winning this series pretty easily. Tommy, why don't you introduce our other series?
Yeah, so the other series is a great one. Obviously, we have the Dodgers against the Padres. Probably the best team in baseball on paper, the Dodgers, against one of the best young teams, the San Diego Padres. We've talked about them all year. They got Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, a great young team. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'll start with you, Matt. Who do you have in this series?
Dodgers, baby. Of course, I'm going with the Dodgers.
It's a great pick, Matt. Mike, who do you have?
I'm going with the Dodgers, and I don't know. I think this year is this year is their year. Kershaw came out through an absolute gem, a gem that Devi Garcia that won't throw tonight. I'll tell you that for sure. But I think this is the Dodgers' year. This is their year to lose, and if they lose, I'll eat my words. I'll say it's a big disappointment, but Dodgers all the way.
Connor.
Again, I think the Dodgers can win. I wouldn't be surprised if the Padres take it, though. I really think they could. I mean, they have a really good team.
They do have a really good team.
The Dodgers, I think they could win it. Their pitching is definitely just more experienced and just better overall. But the Padres, it's Slam Diego right there.
Yeah,
So-
I agree with you. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
No,
I agree 100%. I just think that the Dodgers are the better team and they're going to win. I'm going to take them in 5 games. I think that's going to be really competitive. But like you said, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see San Diego win this. Especially since they've gotten going. They lost the first game in their series against the Cardinals and they're starting to roll. So I definitely could see the Padres, but I do think that the Dodgers are the better team with Betts, Bellinger, and that tremendous rotation they have. So
yeah. Well, all right. I guess that kind of wraps up our baseball talk for the Wednesday episode. I hope you guys are enjoying some postseason baseball. Yes, we're going to be back with some GOAT picks. We are going to be picking 2 games in GOAT picks, so definitely be on the lookout for those. We'll be back with those next.
Welcome back to GOAT Chat. We are back here with the GOAT picks. I kind of shot myself in the foot talking too much crap. I went 0-4 this week. It's whatever. Auburn, Bo Nix, whatever. But we got another week of GOAT picks. Connor, if we look at leaderboard, Connor's in first. I'm still in second, so not huge implications. Tommy's in third and Mike is in fourth.
No, Tommy's tied with you now.
Okay, Tommy's tied with me. I don't even know.
I'm a game behind you guys, and Connor's like 4 or 5 games ahead of all of us.
Okay, so we'll start with the baseball games. Yankees-Rays, GOAT Chat here. We're not biased at all. So Yankees-Rays game 3 Wednesday. So today, Tommy, who are you going with? Or Connor, who are you going with?
okay.
Well, I'm going to go Yankees. I said in the previous segment that the Yankees are going to sweep, and I'm going to stand by that. Yankees win game 3.
I'm going to go with the Yankees too. Tommy?
Yeah, Yankees, of course. They're going to win this. No problem.
Mike?
I'm going to go with the Rays. I just don't think Tanaka has pitched well over his past couple starts, especially against the Indians in his first go-around. I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Okay. But also, can we talk about how his outing against the Indians was also because of a rain delay? He was rain delayed twice.
All right, so we got Dodgers-Padres game 2. Connor, who are you going with?
I'll say the Padres take game 2.
Well, I'm going to say the Dodgers. Thank you very much. Tommy?
I'm going to say the Dodgers just because Clayton Kershaw's pitching. He did great his last time out, 13 strikeouts, I think. So I got to go with Kershaw and the Dodgers.
I'm going with the Dodgers too. Thank you very much, Connor. I did not. I don't think that he knew that Kershaw was pitching. I think he's going to continue his hot streak.
I did know Kershaw was pitching, and I think Kershaw pitched too well in his first outing. I think we're going to see the postseason Kershaw.
Great logic there. He was so good that he has to be bad, right?
Well,
Yeah.
time will tell.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. Time will tell. And then finally, we got the NFL. We're going to have NBA in the graphic. We're not going to pick it, though, because we don't know what happens tonight. We got NFL Thursday Night Football. Kind of a Super Bowl rematch with quarterbacks on two different teams. Tom Brady, Nick Foles. Connor, who are you going to go with?
I'm going to go with the Bears. I think the Buccaneers defense did not look good against the Chargers at all. And I think the Bears defense is too good for Tom Brady to do what he did in the second half against the Chargers, where I think the Bears are going to be able to Nick Foles is going to be able to lead the offense to enough points where Tom Brady's not going to be able to score that much, and the Bears are going to win this Thursday night game.
This one is so difficult because like the past two episodes, it's all been about Nick Foles, and his infamous nickname BDN. But I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. Tom the Bum Brady, he looked actually not that bummy, other than the pick six. I mean, Rodgers was our pick six.
Fantastic against the Chargers. I'm surprised you didn't go with your man, Matt. Nick Foles is your guy.
I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers here. I think the Buccaneers are going to have a good game. Tommy.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go with the Bucs. I think that Tom Brady's gonna play well, and they're gonna win this one.
Mike.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucs too. I think they've played pretty well throughout the first 4 games of the season, and their run defense is absolutely fantastic. Justin Herbert was the Chargers' leading rusher with only 14 yards. So I think if they can stop the Bears' passing attack, they'll be just fine. They'll be able to score on Chicago. And let's be honest, if it wasn't for a nice comeback against the Falcons, and they only beat the Giants by 4 points, and DeAndre Swift dropping that touchdown, that would have won the game in week 1. We're having a completely different conversation. I'm just throwing it out there.
You can't look at sports as what ifs. You can't. It happened.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm just saying that the Bears aren't as good as their record tells us they are.
Well, I mean, then can you admit that the Cowboys are 0-4 team?
Right.
They should be 0-4 right now. I'm not denying that.
Okay. That's all I wanted to hear. It's fine that you say the Bears shouldn't be their record if all I heard was that. But we'll see what happens. Big week, honestly.
These guys are giving me easy wins. They're giving me easy wins.
All right. We'll move into the go of the week and then finish this episode off. Coming up next.
Welcome back to the Go of the Week. We're so excited to have you back, and we're going to wrap up this episode very quickly. Connor, I'm going to start with you. Who's your Go of the Week?
I'm going to go with Joe Mixon. He was questionable going into the game. He started in, I think it was 31 previous games, and he decided to give it a go after dealing with an injury all week, and he exploded. He had 150 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, and he had 6 catches for 30 yards through the air and had another touchdown there. I mean, big week for a guy who was questionable coming into a game. So that's the reason why Joe Mixon is going to be my goat of the week.
Tommy, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Giancarlo Stanton. He's just been great for the Yankees through the first 3 games of the postseason. He's hit a home run in all 3 of those games. He has 7 RBIs. And, everybody always gives Stanton a hard time. They say he doesn't come through when it matters. Well, he certainly has. He hit that big grand slam against the Rays in game 1 of the ALDS to help solidify that win. So he's been great through the entire postseason thus far. Hope he can keep it going. So Giancarlo Stanton is easily my go of the week.
Matt.
I'm going to go with Odell Beckham Jr., otherwise known as OBJ. If you guys didn't know, fun facts, his middle name is Cornelius. Just figure that out. But I'm picking him for his performance on the field. 81 yards, 5 receptions. He had that first reception from Jarvis Landry throwing that pass. And then also on the run, 2 runs for 73 yards and 1 touchdown right at the end of the game, kind of a game sealer. OBJ probably played his best game for the Browns. So he's my go of the week.
That's a great pick there. I don't know how he got past the line of scrimmage on that play, honestly. Alden Smith had him dead in his tracks, and he was 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and the Cowboys blew it.
In this segment, talk about the Cowboys' woes. As you go to the week, please.
Okay. Well, let me give some credit to Jimmy Butler. He's my go of the week, and this is why. He probably, this is probably the biggest singular game upset in NBA history. Here's why. Goran Dragic was out and Bam Adebayo, arguably the two best players for the Miami Heat throughout the playoffs. What? Why are you giving me that look? I'm not wrong.
Nope, shut up. Continue, please.
Right? So Jimmy Butler comes out here without the Miami Heat's leading scorer, Goran Dragic, and Bam Adebayo leads the Heat in assists, rebounds, blocks, and steals throughout the whole playoffs, right? So Jimmy Butler comes out here, absolutely carries this team to an 11-point victory by scoring 40 points, 11 rebounds, and 13 assists. He had a 40-point triple-double on very efficient shooting, 14 of 20 from the field, and he didn't even take a three-pointer. Jimmy Butler was absolutely fantastic against the Lakers, and even though they probably aren't going to win this series, this was a pretty valiant act, a valiant effort from Jimmy Butler, and he's my go of the week.
I would definitely say he's one of the top two players on the Miami Heat's roster throughout the postseason. I mean, this is the second time you've picked him for go to the week throughout the playoffs, and now you're not going to say that he's one of the top two players on the Miami Heat's playoff roster. That's kind of hypocritical, if I would say so.
I never said. It's not.
I mean, that you did.
At all. I know I picked him before, but I don't know. That doesn't mean that I necessarily thought he was playing as a top two player in the Miami Heat this whole playoffs, right?
All right.
Who's been playing better, Goran Dragic or Jimmy Butler so far in the playoffs?
Jimmy Butler.
No.
Goran Dragic might have been hitting bigger shots throughout the games, but Jimmy Butler's been so consistent.
Whatever. That's a whole different conversation for a different day. Anyways, thank you guys for another great episode. As always, we love being here. We love talking about sports, whether we agree or not. We usually don't agree, but that's besides the point. Connor, listen, I don't know why you're talking right now. You're about to go 0-4 this week in the go pick, so I don't want to hear it. Okay. Anyways, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, follow us on all our socials, and we will see you later. Peace.